All right, so what we got here, really we just have mic pre and an EQ. I'll start with the mic pre's first. The mic pre's are the MA5s, and you see them here, these 4 preamps right here. MA5 preamps, they were kind of like inspired by the old Neves, because I've done so much work on the old Neves that a lot of people just said, hey, why can't you do something for 500 series? So I said, all right, I'll give it a try, and it worked out really well. And it's all direct coupled Class A circuitry, custom-made output transformer from Jensen. But you see the 4 different ones here. They're all actually the same on the inside. It just, some people have said, hey, I want a red knob, and so we do that. And then we had a different colored faceplate because we had some old equipment that we like the color of, so we did that. And so we just have different faceplate colors. You can just choose whatever you want. But the default one is actually this second one, this black one here. Black on black. Just looks very stealthy. I like that look. So if you're looking for a mic pre that has coloration, especially in the low end, if you're looking for something that the mids are clear, but when you get to the low frequencies, it just sounds, really big and thicker, definitely the ME5 is the thing to do. It kind of has a smiley face kind of harmonic distortion curve to it. So for people who like some coloration, that's what to do. It's not the best preamp when it comes to, if you're looking for ultra fast, even though it's fast enough, but if you're looking for that kind of ultra fast and hard hitting dynamic type of preamp, it's not that. There are no op amps in it. It's all Class A stuff. But it does tend to round off the corners of things that may sound a little bit edgy. So they're great on vocals, great on piano. It could be good on drums, depending on what kind of drum sound you want. Moving on, we can, I've got the 28K button on. People ask me about that a lot. You see the 28K. You got 28K, you got phase reverse, and you got phantom power. With the 28K over here, it's just a little feature that I added where if you want a little rise in a high frequency, it gives you 6 dB rise at the top of it at 28K. But when you hit it, you hear it. And the purpose is, a lot of mic pre's and a lot of microphones, you tend to lose some of the high frequency details going through the microphone. Sometimes the microphone's not placed in the right place. Sometimes you don't get enough of the reflections in the room. So the 28K is really handy when you hit it. It just gives you enough of that reflection. And it makes things sound a little more musical and realistic without it sounding EQ'd. That's the key. I don't like things sounding like they're EQ'd. Just really natural. That way you can go on to mixing and it sounds great. E27s are next. Now all these E27s, they are the same. No games with changing knob colors or anything on that. E27, really, the look of it, just because I had to place things the way they are, the look of it is kind of inspired by the 550A that I brought with me here, this white one here. But the circuitry on the inside is very different. It uses a very different type of filter topology. But the amplifiers inside are still op-amp based. The APIs have a 2520. I have an 1122 op-amp, which is all discrete. But a lot of frequencies, if you notice, a lot of frequencies on every band. And kind of like it is on the old Neve when I got used to working, straight down is your 0. But you do have an off position on each band. So you can choose a frequency, boost, or cut. And you got 16 dBs of boost and cut. And if you want to shelve the top end, you got a button down here, which is shelving button. So say if you put it on straight down to 12K, you hit the shelving button, you will boost everything from 12K on up, all the way up to probably about 30K. It's all shelving, it's all just boost. Same thing on the low end. On the low frequency, if you put it on, say, 200 hertz, and you hit the low frequency shelf, everything below 200 hertz will be either amplified or cut. You can do it as a cut if you want kind of a high-pass filter effect. So that's very effective. A lot of headroom, very, very quiet. Transformer in and out. In fact, it's so quiet that I tell people sometimes it's nice to just go through it because transformers have such great common mode rejection. It tends to make your line quieter sometimes, believe it or not. So it's really good to balance things that are unbalanced. It's great for problem solving. The circuitry is very good with phase response. you know, when you go in very, very low frequencies, I'm talking 10 hertz and even below, it keeps your phase really tight. That's very important. So you hear all those harmonics naturally the way that they occur, without having a weird timing effect and a weird sort of a mushy or blurry effect. So it's just a fantastic EQ for tracking. Good enough for mastering, good enough for mixing, but again, it's a 500 format, so maybe in the future when we have a different kind of format, it might be a little more, you know, might be better for mastering and so on. Just a simple rack. You know, you got your LEDs on the front to say that the power supply is on and everything's okay. You got a link switch over here so that you can link channel 1 to channel 2. But the key thing is when you do link them for like a channel strip, you don't lose the output of channel 1. So you can still use your signals dry if you wanted to and still record out of channel 2. So it's really good. You can actually split the output of the mic pre that's on this side. And we've opened this one up just so people can look inside and talk about it or whatever if they have any questions. Linear power supply, and really that's it. In the future, we hope to come up with some more interesting audio products. Thanks so much. Thank you from Colombia.